Module 13, the X-ray question. Now, I'm sure you'll agree that steering a car is easy, but kind of pointless if you don't know where you're going. You might as well just stop, because you could just as easily be moving away from your intended destination as toward it. That's why I can't wait to tell you more about the X-ray question, because it lets you get inside your man's mind and hear what he really wants. It helps you uncover the things he secretly wants more of in his life. What is an X-ray question? It's a question that reveals what he wants by tapping into his recent memories. Interestingly, people don't seem to know what makes them truly happy. This is not just my opinion, rather, it's the conclusion of a group of psychologists who call themselves happiness researchers. Believe it or not, this is a serious discipline in the field of psychology. Hundreds and hundreds of studies have been done to differentiate things like life satisfaction, happiness, contentment, and all the variables that seem to lead to happiness. But here's the weird part. The research suggests we only have vague notions about what makes us happy, and even those notions are often wrong, which probably causes you to wonder, how can a research tell someone they are wrong about what makes them happy? And here's the answer. The researchers used pagers, and more recently smartphones, to randomly ping research subjects with a cue to write down what they're doing and how happy they feel at this very moment. They then compared this with what research subjects predicted would make them happy before the study began. Research subjects tended to say things like, "I'm happiest when I can finally put my feet up and watch TV in the evenings." But the data showed something different. People tended to be happiest when actively working on some challenging task. Sometimes those tasks were work assignments and sometimes they were chores that needed to get done at home. The point is, people are not great at identifying the things that make them feel happy and alive. That's why you can't just ask the man you're with, "What do you really want in life?" and expect to get a good answer. Instead, I want you to access his recent memories. Ask about a time when positive emotions came up recently. This question serves the same purpose as a metal detector used to detect coins at the beach. When he mentions a time he felt positive emotions, that tells you there's something buried under the sand. It doesn't tell you what's there, it just tells you where to dig. But don't ask him directly. Instead, use your powers of observation. Pay attention to the kinds of goals and challenges that seem to light up his emotional world. Remember, emotions run the show, so whether he knows it or not, his happy moments contain secrets. Secrets that will allow you to discover ways to align yourself with his positive emotions. Example phrases. When was the last time you were having so much fun that you lost track of time? Do you remember feeling truly content at any moment during the past month? Tell me the most recent memory you have of feeling excitement in the pit of your stomach. Where were you the last time you noticed a feeling of happy anticipation? Tell me about the last interaction we had that made you feel really good. How does it work? With the X-ray question, here's what you do. You ask about a time he felt good, a recent moment when he noticed positive feelings. You then ask questions that reveal the hidden reason why he felt good at those moments. Typically, this reveals one or more of his core values, because we only feel happy, excited, and full of life when we are doing things that in some way link our core values, the things we care about in life. Why do you need to know his core values? Because it allows you to more easily trigger his hero instinct by tapping into the things that already hold meaning for him. You can tap into the things that make him feel good, and you can suggest ways to move toward a life that better encompasses the things he values. This makes him happy because it gets at his secret obsession, and makes you a part of the best life he can imagine. Story example. My receptionist had a little smirk when she came to my door. She announced that my new client Sarah was in the waiting room. I understood her smile only after I rounded the corner and introduced myself. Sarah was extremely attractive, and she was dressed like she was about to go out clubbing. My receptionist used to ask me why people like that come to see me for dating advice. She was under the impression that good looks could exempt a woman from the effort of building a satisfying relationship. And I'll admit, Sarah was one of those people who is so attractive it's kind of distracting. But that doesn't change one simple fact. Good relationships don't come from good looks. A satisfying relationship happens when two people love making each other happy. Sarah had yet to find that kind of relationship. She already had a boyfriend, and she asked me if she should stay with him, because she had recently met someone new. Sarah felt this new guy was a better match. A few weeks later, she broke things off with her old boyfriend. Then she got frustrated, because the new guy did not show as much ongoing interest as she thought he would. When they first met, there was definitely some chemistry between them, but then he seemed to cool off, and Sarah entered into what I call beggar mode. Beggar mode happens on a psychological level. She approached him like he had all the power in the relationship. We needed to change this. So I asked her to shift her attention to the things this new guy was already fascinated by. She used X-ray questions to accomplish that. Her new goal was simple. Each time she had a chance to interact with him, she asked him about high points, peak life experiences. He loved talking about these things. It energized him, and he ended up paying more attention to her in the process of trying to fully answer her questions or relay the stories behind uplifting moments in his life. It wasn't long until she discovered a common interest she had with him for entrepreneurial ventures. They started talking about flipping houses for profit. He felt alive when he was pursuing a dream like that. She asked him what he enjoyed about talking with her. She thought he would say it was their shared interest in entrepreneurial ventures, but his answer surprised her. He said, "You seem to believe in me, and that inspires me. My parents and all my previous girlfriends rolled their eyes whenever I talked about possibilities. You're different." This gave her a tremendous insight regarding what worked for him in their growing relationship. Beggar mode was long gone, and she knew how to make sure it stayed that way. X-ray questions give you an unfair advantage. Pause to consider how you might use them with a guy you know. Start by asking about recent high points, happy moments, and peak life experiences.